So in this video, what you're about to watch was recorded 1.5 months ago, which was a long time ago. Like sitting here now, it's currently the 17th of May, recording this part of the intro, as I didn't have much of an intro planned of what you're about to watch in a minute. But basically, I sat down with Frazer from Obvious Events talking about Future Fest, which is a week away from now. So please get your tickets. They might be sold out by now. I'm not really sure, but I spoke to him about the festival, and he told me the lineup for the first time to me on camera. But at that point, the first two bands had already been announced, but I didn't know because I didn't look at my phone, so I knew the bands. But he told me the lineup for the first time, and this is going to be my reaction to it. So enjoy the reaction to Future Fest and interviewing Frazer about it and all sorts of other things. So enjoy. Hello and welcome back to Oliver Clatworthy Music with a special kind of video. This is a video I've never done before. It's going to be a look at a festival, the Festival Future Fest, and I'm just going to straight into it and hand over to my interview with Frazer about the festival. So I'm now joined by Frazer from Obvious Events. You may have seen him last time on the channel around, I don't know when this is being released, but so like 2-3 months ago, or even 4 months ago now. But at the very end of the interview, he told me about a secret thing he was planning called Future Fest, and today we're going to talk about the Future Fest, and he's going to reveal to me the lineup. Obviously, as we're recording this, I don't know the lineup. I don't know most of the lineup, so it's going to be very real, very natural, very real, like emotions from me.
And I think as well, since I told you about some of the bands that I wanted to have on the lineup, or some of the bands that I had said were confirmed for the lineup, I think some of them have pulled out and I've had to put in replacements. So even some of those might be different.
Yes.
So the ones you think you might know, you might not know.
Frazer, can you reveal to me the first band, please?
Yeah, sure. So before I tell you which bands, which band is in each slot, I'll tell you which venue they're playing.
Also, just do them like one by one, so we can talk about why you chose them. Like after,
Sure,
yeah.
I'll do one by one.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you which venue they're doing, what
Yeah.
time they're playing, how long they're playing for. I'll do brief, ambiguous backstory, and then we can go into more detail once I've said the name.
Yeah.
So the first band will be opening the show at Bomber at 2:15. They'll play a half-hour set. From 2:15 to 2:45. They reached out a while ago. Just through DMs, which is the thing I always say to people
you're really milking this, but I love it.
Yeah, I'm milking it. I'm milking it. They reached out through DMs a while ago. And this is the thing I always say to every band, just reach out through the DMs if you want a gig, and they managed to get on the festival lineup because I really liked them. They're from Plymouth.
I think I know who it is.
They're called Foreign Voices.
Yeah, I've heard of them. Yeah.
So Foreign Voices are a really cool sort of like indie rocky band. I did some listening to their stuff when they first reached out, and I thought it was quite fun. And so I told them that I would totally be up for getting them on for something. And it wasn't until recently that I went back to their page and listened to some of their songs, and I was like, whoa, they've released a couple new songs since I last listened. I think they first reached out in like December, and they just released a few more songs recently, and they are so good. And I'm really excited to see them play. I think they're going to be a really, really good band.
I've not heard of them, but I've seen them popping up on my feed lately. As I'm recording this, in a couple days' time, they're doing a co-headline gig with Seneca down in Plymouth.
Are they? Okay, yeah, cool. But yeah, they're really really fun band. Looks like they're doing some really fun stuff. And they messaged and said they really wanted to get into the Exeter scene. I said if they waited, they could be on the festival lineup. And that could be like a really great way to sort of introduce them to the scene, and they seemed game. So yeah, I'm really excited to have them on board.
Yeah. So yeah, I've never heard any of their music. I am gonna wait until July to like hear them for the first time to see what they're like.
Oh, you should listen to their music before, so that when you go, maybe you'll know some of the words. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a playlist at some point as well. I'm gonna post to once I've announced all the bands, I'm gonna make a playlist with like all of the bands' full discographies on them. So that people can like shuffle it and like listen to the festival sound. Um, are you ready for the next band?
Yes.
So this next band was actually a replacement for the a previous band that we had in this slot. I won't tell you who that is yet because that'll give it away. But they'll be playing at I've lost my timings. They'll be playing from 2:50 until 3:20 for half an hour in Move. And we gigged with them. We gigged with them before. We had a lovely time gigging with them. They're from Bath. And they are called Finding Mary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, who are an incredible band. And when we gigged with them, I offered them a festival slot. It was one of the few bands. Actually, that's not true. I think I reached out to most people asking them if they wanted a slot. Yeah, but they were one of the few bands that instead of like having to think about it and process like which ones I wanted and really like methodical planning, we had a slot come up when we were on our way to that gig in Bristol. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to fill that slot with something. That's really annoying. We were like really annoyed by it. And then Charlie, who's the front for their band, I knew a few of them, and I know that they're from around this way. So if they wanted to come and play, it would be slightly more accessible because I know they're from the south. Um, and yeah, when I saw them play, I was just like, fuck, they're so good. They're really, really good. And they were playing with Blu-ray as well, and Blu-ray are amazing, but I know that Blu-ray are already getting loads of amazing opportunities.
Yeah.
So I just said to Finding Mary, like, you guys really should get on this lineup. Like, I really, really want to get you on for the festival. You are a really great band. They're so good. So I'm really excited. Like funky and indie and rocky and just their track that's just come out is really, really good. The bass is incredible in that track.
Yeah, I listened to Don't Turn Around, and yeah, it's really good.
Oh, take a look at your lies. Yeah, it's a great song. I'm really excited to have them on, and I think it'll be really great for them to get into a new city and experience some new stuff. So yeah, it'll be really cool.
And next band, please, Frazer.
So the next band I'm really, really excited about. They are good friends of ours. They haven't played a show for a while.
I know who it is. I know who it is.
I thought that might give it away. They're really good friends of ours. They haven't played a show for a while, and the first gig we ever organized, they were on the lineup of. And when I found out that they were sort of making a return, I was like, this perfectly lines up with the festival. You have to get on. You have to make a comeback. So the third band on, playing in Bomber at yes, from 3:25 until 3:55 is Flavor the Wicked.
Yay.
Who are incredible.
Which, by the way, watch my review on Flavor the Wicked, please and thank you.
Yeah.
Shameless self-plug.
That video came out whilst we were at the Die Twice release party.
Oh yeah, it did.
And I was hanging out with Billy, and or it was just before, I think, actually. And I was hanging out with Billy that night, and he was like, "Oh, hey, I saw your I said this to you the other night. So many people come up to me and say, "Hey, you're the guy that Oliver interviewed." like people recognize me from your channel, which is really cool. That's like become a thing that everyone. My curtains got stuck. That people are like starting to recognize me from your channel is really cool for your channel. That's how like people starting to know me. But I was with Billy, and he's like, "Hey, I saw your interview," and I was like, "Yeah, thanks." I was like, "I didn't a Flavor the Wicked review just drop?" And he was like, "Yeah, it did." I'm like, "Haven't seen it yet, but everyone is coming up to me and they're like saying sorry in advance." And I was like, "What does that mean?" And he was like, "I don't know, but apparently Oliver's massively rinsed my drum solo."
What? Oh yeah. Oh no.
I was
right. I've got a story
to
tell about that. So basically,
Please.
I was trying to be entertaining and obnoxious at the same time. So I was like, John's pedal boards. How many pedal boards do you need? Do you need that many pedal boards? Billy's drum solo. I could do that. And I was just like, I was having such a fun time making that video.
Just having a go at him.
It wasn't having a go at it. I was like, I could do that.
What did they do to you, Oliver? What did they do to you?
Absolutely. Been away for loads of months.
Yeah, well, they're coming back.
Yeah.
The return of Flavor the Wicked at Future Fest. Come down. Um, Very exciting. Ready for the next band?
Yep.
So this next band, they played their first gig. This might be wrong. Do some research. Go follow these bands. But from what I know, this next band's first gig was Glastonbury.
What?
Yeah.
Got
So
no clue who this is.
they're an incredible band. They're a three-piece from Honiton. And they make this really wicked, like,
Mm.
um, sort of, I want to say like pop rocky, but also kind of indie vibes, like a little bit post-punky kind of vibes, like all sorts of different, like a big mold of what essentially is like really, really good, like arena indie rock. Very Fooey, very Foo Fighters vibes. Um,
I
and they
don't.
are called Milkshed. Milkshed.
You're supporting them.
Yes, so
Yeah.
Milkshed haven't done many gigs at all, and they're really starting to get into gigging. I saw a picture of them playing a show in London recently, and the room was packed, like really packed. So I'm really excited to have them on. They they reached out to Move actually, not to me, but I've been working for Move, and they reached out to Move and said that they wanted to do a show. They just wanted to support, and I listened to their music, and it was so good. I couldn't think of anything local that could top what they had.
Okay.
And so I told them that they should headline, especially with their following and monthly listening and stuff. I really was like, you guys really should headline. And then the deal that we ended up making in terms of like their payment was that I would pay them for the gigs that they were doing at Move, and the reduced rate that I was gonna give them, I like offered them a slot on the festival lineup as well. And they were just like, "Yeah, we're game." And I was like, "Yes," because it's kind of like I was trying to like lower kind of find a good amount that was like reasonable for us to be able to cover the cost of their gig and to cover the cost of them coming and playing for the headline that they're doing with Move Live. And at the same time, I was like, I want to get them on this festival because it'd be good for them, but also just because I really like them. And if I get them, this is a win. And I did. And I was really excited about it. So it was kind of like a win-win for us. But they are really, really good. Their music is really, really good. I love their songs. And all the pictures and videos I have seen of them have been playing to rooms full of people. Like
Mm.
so many people in the room that they're playing in. I know that they do quite a few shows, like in and around like the London area.
Yeah, I'm
So I'm really
excited.
excited
Yeah,
to get them
because
into Exeter and
I
to
quite
introduce
like
them
the
to the
Foo
likes of
Fighters, and
Exeter.
since you said they're Foo Fighters inspired, I'm looking
Yeah,
forward to
I don't
it.
know if they actively are Foo Fighters inspired, but I kind of get Foo Fighters vibes
Yeah.
from some of their songs. So you know, but yeah, they've got some really really tight and they sound massive considering they're just a three piece. They sound like they've got a really fat sound, so they're going to be awesome. I'm really excited for them. Um, Next band.
Yep. Go on then.
Hmm.
Yes.
So this next band have done a headline before. They played at Move. They headlined. They're really good friends of ours. Really, really good friends of ours.
Right.
We
I
have
think I know.
you might do, yeah.
I
They
think I know.
we've met them for loads and loads of different gigs, and their EP came out recently, and it
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. I think. Yeah.
They are the lovely Lead and the Zombies,
Yeah.
and they're playing in Bomber from 4:35 to 5:20. It's a 45-minute set.
Okay. I'm really looking forward to seeing them live because I love their EP. Um.
Their EP is really good.
Yeah. I think "Wanted" is my favorite song on the EP.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh, I think Wanted is my least favorite song on their EP.
I think "Wanted" and
Interesting.
Musky" is up there for me on that EP.
Musky Musty is so good. Musky Musty, what did you do? Yeah, I
Too
love
many
those songs.
people
It,
relying on you.
yeah, it's a great project. But I found out when we gigged with them that Musky Musty is about Elon Musk, which makes sense when you hear it, but you don't think about it. Um,
Oh yeah.
Musty Musky, what did you do? Too many people relying on you. Guess you've done some good things.
Yeah,
I really should say, but please, Musky, put
I
music into my brain.
I can see
Um,
it.
yeah, put music into my brain, like the the thing that
Yeah.
Elon Musk keeps talking about, the chips, he's going to play music. Yeah. But they wrote that song for a school project, which I think
Oh,
just makes it even better that that song is like a school project song and it's so good. It's a really good song. And that it like made the cut for their EP is so
yeah.
cool. Um, but yeah,
Right.
they're a really, really great band. We've played a couple shows with them. They're awesome. They're just lovely people. That's like a real priority for me when I'm working with people is I just want to work with really nice people. And they are just super available, super fun to work with, super keen just for everything. They just love gigging and playing shows. And yeah, I'm really excited for them and to see them play again.
So that was band number 5.
Band
So
number
I'm
five,
gonna
halfway
talk
through.
about. I'm gonna quickly ask you for like a halftime break. Um,
Sure, go for it.
no, I'm gonna ask you. How did the festival come about? What was your? Why did you want to do it?
When we did that one there, the Future Faces, which was our first gig, we got a lot of like first gig success. So it's the first thing we ever did, and it went really, really well. And we were like, wow, that was really great. What are other events companies doing now that we've decided we want to take ourselves seriously? We've done a really good first event. What do other companies do? And we looked around and the kind of like general thing that a lot of events companies did was they like did things throughout the year and then they would do a festival. We were especially looking at Attitude Events was one of the main companies that we were like looking at and
I
they
was
do
I was actually. Do you know what? Yesterday I was looking at booking tickets to Attitude Festival because
I think it's gonna be really
Mother
good.
Vulture headlining.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be really good this year. But yeah, and also we were looking at BYP who do Burn It Down.
Oh yeah.
So there's a few different companies and they like do loads of gigs throughout the year with loads of really cool names and then they do a big festival each year. And we were like, huh, seems like a good business model. Like, these events companies are doing really well. We should do our own festival. How about we do the Future Faces once a year? At the same time, sort of August time, we'll do the Future Faces. And then we kind of like just did a bunch of other stuff and forgot about it. And then when we did Fright Fest, which was our second event, we were like, oh, this one went really well and it's got festival in the name. Maybe we should just do this one as our yearly event. And we kind of ummed and ahed over it a lot and we weren't sure. And then when we got back around to like coming close to the summer, we were looking at what the costs might be for like a festival like this. And we were like, Jesus, this is way out of our budget. There's no way we're going to be able to do this. Um, and then I kind of looked at my this is maybe not the kind of thing that I should be talking about, but I don't know. I looked at my monthly income from my job and I was like, if I poured like 4 months of income into the events fund, I could do the festival. So that's kind of what ended up happening was I ended up just taking sort of 4 months of income and putting it into the events fund to be able to afford a festival. And then suddenly we were like, whoa, we've done loads of gigs that have made loads of money and Fraser's put loads of money into it. We can do a festival. Holy moly, when do we want to do it? We were looking at times and when there were other festivals happening, we didn't want to clash with anything. So we picked July. We then realized that July wasn't completely in line with when we did the last one. It wasn't like a similar date. So we kind of thought, oh, we should go for some different branding or we should try and make this a bigger thing. And then in the end, after like umming and ahhing over like names for ages, like Obvious Fest and obviously Festival and Obvious Music Festival, that kind of stuff, we ended up just like going back to we were like, the Future Faces was such a great name, but it's not quite a festival. Sounds like a gig. Um, so yeah, we made it into Future Fest, which is our kind of combination
It's got like a
of
it's got a ring to
everything.
it. It's got a ring to it. Future Fest.
I think so. I think Future Fest is good, and it's something that the name is kind of like the future of music
Yeah.
is kind of what it's trying to show is like Future Fest kind of is the point is that like these bands are the bands that are like really really good bands who like totally have it in them and I'm certain are going to do like amazing things. Um and yeah, I'm like really excited for them all and I want to showcase them all in one go. So that's kind of what the name is and what the point of it is. But yeah, I guess to shorthand answer your question, we always wanted to do a festival. We just weren't sure if we could.
I'm
And
right.
now we
I
are.
remember. a message conversation from about 3 months ago between me and you, and I was like,
Is
I've had a. I think it. No, I think it's the day
we
after.
had this conversation in person.
No, I don't think we did.
We did. It was outside Move. And I was telling you about how I really wanted to do a festival, but it was too expensive because we wanted to do it in somewhere like the Phoenix or the Cavern, or maybe like try and do both at the same time, but they're so
Yeah,
expensive. And then you said, why don't you do Bomber and Move at the same time?
yeah.
And I was like, that's actually a really good
Because I,
idea and so realistic. And so then yeah, I was like, maybe I should do that. And so then yeah, that's what ended up happening.
yeah, because I was like in the mindset of maybe you do Bomber and Move because, like, yeah, you've worked with them loads of times before.
Yeah. And yeah, more affordable. I've got a much better like working relationship with all of the people on that team. Before I had the job there, I was already like in really good talks with the team there, and we were talking about doing the festival together before I even worked there. So it was always going to work, I think. Um, but yeah, that's kind of all of the origins of the festival. And you gave me the idea for Moving Bomber. You can take credit.
Yay, partial credit.
Partial credit.
Let's jump into
Okay,
the sixth band.
sixth band. Okay, the sixth band in the festival is kind of like obvious. I didn't even mean to do that. It keeps happening. It keeps happening. Yeah,
Oh,
I
can
don't.
I
I don't.
guess? Can I guess?
I
Oh
don't-
God. Oh,
I wonder who it is.
there's a. Oh, is it Fraser Ray's solo performance?
It is absolutely not. No, no. The sixth band. The sixth band is my band. We're called Obvious Reasons. Um, and yeah, we'll be playing in Move, I believe it is. Yeah, Move from 5:25 to 6:10. Um, that might change. So
45
I'm
minutes set.
yeah,
Yeah.
another 45 minutes. I might swap Leonard and the Zombies in obvious reasons, just because when I first put the dates in, Leonard and the Zombies in obvious reasons had a pretty similar following, and then since then, Lats have done loads of gigs and they've got a much bigger following than us now. They've gone up to like something like 700 and something, and we're
Mm.
still in the 500s. So they're doing really well for themselves. And I think they will probably bring a slightly bigger crowd. So I'm 100% up for putting them slightly higher up. Um, so yeah, I think I'll probably move their set to being above ours. So I think the fifth and the sixth act will probably swap
Yeah.
places. Obvious reasons, Alan and the Zombies will both still have a 45-minute set. It will just be then and the Zombies in Move, and obvious reasons in Bomber instead. So that will be swapped around. But
So I thought you would have said like a thing. Oh, we reached out to our own band like a month ago.
no, no, yeah, not no, none of that. We figured that well, okay, so if Obvious Reasons was a dying band, I wouldn't have put them on the lineup. Um, but we're doing pretty well, and we've got a decent following. We've headlined Move before, and we sold quite a few tickets, and I just thought it made sense. Considering we're all already going to be there anyway. And selfishly, it is a really good opportunity for us, and we would love to play with all of these bands, and to be able to say that we've organized a festival and played at it is, I think, quite unique, and yeah, is very exciting. So
I will
it's
just say, Fraser, you are going to be busy that day.
yeah, I'm gonna be really busy. That
I
that day
imagine
is gonna
I
be
imagine it's
mental.
going to be like a 10 a.m. load-in sort of thing, like 12 p.m.
Um, I'm not too sure. I'm gonna try and plan it so that it kind of rakes in a good way. But I'm really not too sure how I'm gonna do it yet. I think I need to do yeah. It's gonna be a nightmare. It's such a busy day. Like there's gonna be so much kit. I hope it will be all right because Move and Bomber have both done 5-band lineups before. And there's only 5 bands in each venue, so hopefully there shouldn't be like too much kit downstairs. And we're doing a lot of kit sharing, so like loads of people
Yeah.
have very kindly offered to like bring drum kits and supply bass amps and stuff for different venues, so that'll be good. Um, the Hopefully it won't be too crowded in terms of just like stuff everywhere. I think it should be all right, but we'll have to have to see how that goes. Yeah, I've got some plans for that, but I don't think it'll be a 10 a.m. load in because because one band's going on in Bomber, you can be
Oh
sound checking
yeah,
the next band in
yeah.
Move. So you don't need to have everyone arrive super early and then
No.
like take it in turns to do sound checks. You just sound check the first band and then you take the next band downstairs and say, okay, you guys get on. The first band's going now. Now's the time for you to start sound checking.
Yeah.
And from what the Move staff have told me, there's not really much bleed between the two venues, so I don't have to worry about the sound check from one venue interrupting the show of the other venue. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully that'll be the way it goes.
Yeah, because I'm pretty. Yeah, because Crofter's Rights in Bristol, there's no bleed between the two rooms, and there's
Okay.
been stuff like going on, like, and that's on the same level of ground,
Yeah, yeah. We
right?
do like club nights up in Bombo whilst there's live music happening in Move, and you
Mm,
never hear
no,
anything from either of them, so it should be fun.
yeah. So what's it? Seventh
Seventh,
band.
seventh
Yeah.
band. So now we're
So
getting into the
last
big
four.
names. We're getting into the last four. These are like the really big names, the ones I am very, very excited to have, who are bands I like really, really love. And they are going to be just so amazing at this show. It chopped and changed a lot as to who was going to be in these slots. A couple of the bands who we really wanted to get, who we didn't end up getting, were Pack of Animals and the Masonettes. We really, really wanted to have them, and unfortunately, they just weren't available at the time, which is a real shame because we do love them like a lot. But yeah, unfortunately, they couldn't make it. The seventh band on the lineup are good friends of ours. Our first like proper show with like actual like full on notable grassroots bands. Um, before the Future Faces was a show in Plymouth at the Rock Bottom Bar, which has since closed.
I know it
And
is.
we were supporting with Seneca for the Sephiros.
Is it, yeah, two ginger guys. The
Yeah,
two
yeah,
gingers.
gingers, yeah, for the Sephiros, for the lovely Sephiros, um, who are incredible. They're such an
Yeah.
amazing band. They've recently upgraded to being a four piece, and they are just like mind blowing to watch. They are mathy and funky and hard and unique and just incredible. And I love them so much. They're really good friends of ours, and I'm so excited to have them on.
I would
They
have
are,
put them just before the headline, so I'm really intrigued for the last
yeah.
three.
But yeah, so the Sephiros will be going on in I think they're going on in Bomber. Yes, the Sephiros will be on in Bomber from 6:15 until 7 o'clock. It's another 45-minute set.
Okay.
Um, eighth band
Yep.
are another incredible band. One of the first shows we ever went to. We saw this band play at the Phoenix. They were amazing. They are, I think you're a fan. They're a five-piece. They've got some amazing songs out. And they're playing shows all over the Southwest at the moment. They are called Seneca.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And they are really, you've mentioned them already, but they're super, super mathy and intricate and technical and amazing. And I went to a Sephiro's gig recently at the Rock Bottom Bar in Teignmouth, and Seneca were there. And when I spoke to them about the festival, I was like, "Oh my God, I'm so excited to have you all on. It's going to be amazing." And I said to them, when I booked the Sephiros, I knew that they were going to be right before the headliners. And I said to the rest of the Obvious Events team, there is only one way that they won't be right before the headliners, and that's if we book Seneca. And like this is before we even thought about booking Seneca. But then as soon as I said that, I was like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we got Seneca? And they were like, yeah, it would. And so then when we had Pack drop out, we were like, oh my God, that's so sad the Packs dropped out. They were going to be amazing. They were going to bring the like real punk energy and bring that punk crowd. But now we can get in touch with Seneca, and we reached out, and they almost instantly, like most bands, took a couple weeks to kind of and like think it over, which makes complete sense. But Seneca instantly got back, like within a day, and they were like, "Yes, this sounds amazing. We want to do it." And they've been super communicative. They've
I
responded to every message really quickly. They've just been so good to work with.
I
Super,
have
super reliable.
yeah. I love Seneca. I went to their headline at Crofter's Rights back in November last year with Blank Atlas supporting fabulous band. Go follow them. Um,
I've heard great things about
yeah,
Blank Atlas. I think I've listened to some of their songs. I
yeah.
think they
But
sound great.
Blank Atlas supported them. But Seneca headlining, I have not seen a crowd as energetic.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine that Seneca headlining a show was amazing.
they've got really tight sound in like their like very odd time signatures, very energetic.
Yeah. And their tone makeup is perfect. All of their instruments just blend together perfectly. You don't like miss any of them. Everything just fits. They're so in pocket. In pocket is a great word for it. They're really in pocket as a band. They really know what they're doing.
Did
So
you
I'm so
say
excited to have them on.
timings for those ones? I
Oh, I
don't
don't
think you
think I
did.
did.
No.
But yeah, they will be on in Move from 7:05 until 7:50, which is another 45-minute
Okay.
set.
So there's 2 hours to go, 2 bands left.
Two bands left. The next band playing in Bomber from 7:55 until 8:55, an hour-long set.
Okay.
They are an amazing, legendary local band who have been playing shows for the last few years. Really lovely friends of ours. We've gigged with them a couple of times recently, and they are just so, so good. They make the room move. They're amazing. They're indie, they're rocky, they're unique, they're really, really talented.
I think I know. Yeah.
And they are called Poppy Show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Poppy Show will be headlining Bomber at Future Fest, which is so exciting because Poppy Show, I've seen Poppy Show at a few different shows recently, and their audience has been like hit and miss because they are sort of bringing themselves back up from having not played shows for quite a while. They've only been doing solo sets for the last like year or so, and they're bringing themselves up as a band again. And every time I go and see them, their audience gets bigger in the span of like a couple months because they had a huge following and then they took a break and they've come back and their audience is kind of realizing they're back again and every time their audience gets bigger and their followers are only going up, they're doing everything right and they are so good, like really good. And my mum saw us play with them at a show not too long ago and she said um that she said that if I wasn't in a band, Poppy Show would be her favorite band, which is her way of saying Poppy Show are her favorite local band. Um, because they are really good. They're really, really good. And they haven't had a chance to do an hour set yet. So nobody has given them an hour set since they came back as a band. Um, and when I told them they were going to do an hour, they all looked at each other and went, "Do we even have an hour?" because because they've been restarting as a band, they haven't like got that full amount of material yet. But oh my God, when they do an hour, it's gonna be incredible. I'm so excited, and the room is gonna go mental, like absolutely mental for them because they just bring so much. They bring so much. They're amazing. I'm really excited to have them on. Yeah.
And
And they will be just quickly because I didn't, there's no obligation for me to do this, but I should say because it's great of them. Poppy Show have very kindly offered to bring backline from Stiff Crowd,
okay.
which you should all look into because Stiff Crowd is an amazing rehearsal space in Exeter, really good for people who are looking to start up a band and get into rehearsing in Exeter, but they don't feel like they've got a space to do it because they can't practice at home or something like that. Like Stiff Crowd is there for you, and they are available and amazing and you should definitely look into them.
So, Bomber equipment endorsed by Stiff Crowd,
Endorsed by Stiff Crowd, yeah. Sponsored by.
sponsored by Stiff Crowd.
Sponsored by Stiff Crowd. Because they're amazing, and they are totally reliable and really good. Poppy Show and Stiff Crowd are just like lovely people. So yeah, there's huge thanks to them for doing all of that for us. And when I make the final poster, I'm gonna have a little row of logos at the bottom just for kind of like sponsors and things that have been relevant. So the obvious events logo, Move, Bomber, and I'm gonna get the Stiff Crowd one as well. Just stick that on there, just because it's just like they've done us such a huge favor. That yeah, they totally deserve to have some recognition. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely do that.
And the final band.
And then the final band, who I think you might know who it
Hmm.
is. But the last headliner are just such an incredible group. They have been doing all sorts of amazing things recently, touring and releasing songs and just generally just doing everything right. They are so talented, so fun to watch, unique in sound, and will just bring such an amazing varietal end to the evening. Bluesy, rocky, like funky in some ways. You probably know them. They're called Die Twice. And they will, yo, you got the merch. I think I've got my Die Twice shirt somewhere in my cupboard. But yeah, Die Twice are amazing. They're so good.
Yeah.
Really good band. Um,
Do you know what? I've not seen those boys live in 2 years, and I'm seeing them like
yeah, we're both
four
seeing them at the
times in one
Phoenix.
year.
Yeah,
4 times
but
in 1 year.
but they are really good. They're such a good band. They've really got their crap together. And they're headlining our festival, which is amazing. Such an honor. And
And
it's been so great to
mm,
work with them. They've been really smooth going and yeah.
I'm guessing
I
that's
love them.
in move from 9 till 10.
Yes, about that. So it's in move from 9 o'clock till 10 o'clock. Yeah.
I'd give
So
them extra 15 minutes because they're so good.
well, yeah.
If the crowd
I'll
ask for
I'll
it,
see what. Yeah, I mean, if the crowd asks them to do more, then they'll do more. The curfew for the event is at 11, and
okay,
I've left loads of spare time because
pat down.
anything could go wrong. There needs to be pat
Yeah,
down, that kind of stuff. And then also because it's a Saturday night, if we finish at like 10 o'clock, then people can go clubbing afterwards if they want to,
yeah.
kind of thing. So
I-
I think that's
I'll
how it's
probably
going.
be worn out because it's my birthday the day before. So
Oh, really?
yeah.
That's cool. But
So
yeah, it's 10 bands. I wouldn't be surprised if you were worn out after a day of 10 bands.
so the 10
Yeah.
bands from beginning to end, we have Foreign Voices on first. Let's see
Yep.
if I remember it. Foreign Voices on first, and then Finding Mary, and then Flavour the Wicked, and then Milkshed, and then Leonard and the Zombies, or it could be Obvious Reasons, and then yeah, Obvious Reasons, and then it's Zephyros, Seneca,
Yep.
Poppy Show, Die Twice. That
Is
la-
that not an
that
amazing
that
lineup?
last five. Oh my god.
The last like five or six
Last lit. Last six.
are like local like bands that are just gonna pack out the room. I wanted to get the first four bands. I'm glad I've got them because they are going to be a slightly chiller start to the day, and because it's going to be an amazing opportunity for them who haven't got a huge local following to sort of build up to new audience. But yeah, that last six is like all bands that are like totally headliner worthy.
Yeah, so the really big ones start at like
Yeah.
5-ish. Like
Um,
4-ish, 5-ish.
yeah, I think about that, yeah. But it's going to be mental. Like the fact that the last six bands are all bands that I have seen do massively well, like who I've seen do massively successful headlines in Exeter,
It's
just
good.
is
It's good to see that
overwhelming.
the last six are doing 45 minutes or longer.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to do. Originally, we had like the first six bands were going to do 30 minutes, and then the last four bands were each going to do an hour.
Hmm.
But then we felt like that was quite a lot to have four bands doing an hour, and that it was going to be quite like mentally draining. So we decided to switch it around slightly, just to do four 30 minutes, four 45 minutes, and then 2 hour slots, just because we thought like that was a good ramp up.
Yeah.
Like a really nice steady kind of curve in set times. And it also meant that some of the bigger bands that we were hiring were going to get the opportunity to still have a 45-minute set, even though they weren't in the sort of the last few. Um, and 45 minutes is like it's like an hour set minus
Yeah.
three or so
It's like
songs.
3 songs that are
It's
just like,
exactly it's like you're still
yeah.
getting pretty much the whole hit of the fruit from most of those bands. You're just like missing a couple of songs, which I hope as well will encourage other people to be like, that band was amazing at the festival. Let's go see them do their headliner in like a month's time or something, because that's just the way to, yeah, really promote that kind of stuff. Is to give bands a sort of shorter set at like big events, and then when they recognize their name on another poster, they go, "Oh, they were really good. I wanted more of them. I'm gonna go see them do that show." But
So,
they're headlining when they're
um,
playing out.
I had in my mind before this interview 3 bands that I
Yeah.
thought were going to play. One of them was Leonard and the Zombies,
Oh, really? Okay.
which they are.
Confirmed.
I thought one of them would have been Acid Era.
No, Acid Era
No,
have done
yeah,
their last gig, unfortunately. Acid Era was something we talked about a lot. We just thought the vibes of the festival. We did consider it, but we've worked with them a couple of times now, You know what? They might watch this. If they do, then they need to hear it, and if they don't, well, they've kind of heard it before. But they're difficult to work with. Basically, they're lovely people, but they like don't have any they don't have a lot of their own backline, and so when we book shows with them, they kind of have to borrow a lot of stuff. And just for the festival, and because we wanted everything to be really smooth, that was like a priority for us, was that we had bands who had all their stuff and had knew exactly what they were doing, and they would bring all their own equipment. They didn't need to borrow anything because that just will make sure everything is running smoother, and it makes our event like safer in terms of definitely running well. Who was the other band you had in mind?
It was kind of like in between a few of them. There was like a few of them dotting around in my head. It was like, they could be good for a festival, but it's kind of like Pack of Animals. I would have like just some like other local bands that I would have like. They could be good on Future Fest. I wasn't 100%. The only band I was 100% certain on, I think, was your band because
Yeah, that
yeah,
makes sense. Yeah,
and Die
we
Twice I was 100% certain on.
yeah we were gutted when we didn't get Pack because we were in talks with them for like almost 2 months trying to figure out like a good price. And I actually that was the last like we would so they said they'd do it. You know, they said yes. And we got right up to the point of like how much do you need to come and play? And we were offering them a price. And then they just like kind of had some trouble, and they realized that maybe not all of them were available, or that it was quite a way to go, and that it was going to cost a lot of money that we didn't have. And they just sent us a message back and said like, "Hey, we're really sorry, but we can't do it." And I was gutted. I was so upset because I love them so much. They're so good. But yeah, they unfortunately they just couldn't do it. Which is a real shame. But yeah, they are yeah, they're a really, really good band. I totally
Yeah,
recommend you catch them whenever you can. They're mostly Bristol based now, which is I think maybe they're trying to move away from doing Exeter stuff as much, which is maybe why they did it. But yeah, that's it was real sad to see here that they couldn't come down because we love them, and they were part of like the dream lineup. So when we had in our head like who we wanted, they were one of those bands. So yeah, but they do amazing stuff still, and yeah, we love them. So
the three bands I'm
definitely go check
most
out Pack.
looking forward to on the festival is obviously Die Twice. Probably
Seneca.
Seneca.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
because
just so
yeah,
good.
and I've not seen the guys in a while. I last saw Jamie at the. He was. I was sat on like stools in St George's in Bristol. It's like a big like venue theatre style thing. I was sat in stools and Jamie was up on the balcony, and he messaged me through the band account saying, "I know what your guilty pleasure song is." I was like, "Shit,
What?
where are you?" Because it was Justin Hawkins Rides Again,
Oh.
and one of his segments was Guilty Pleasure Song, and mine was
Ah.
Take That, Shine. It's a great
Yeah.
song. Um,
Okay, sure.
but he messaged me, the band account messaged me that, was like, where the hell are you? So I was like, looking up, looking around. Oh, there he
That's so
is,
funny.
right at the back.
That's really funny. That's funny.
It's like, yeah. And I think the third band who I'm most looking forward to has got to be Flavour the Wicked.
Oh yeah, the Flavor of the Wicked return is mega. So excited to have them back. We've tried to get them on for something before the festival, like a couple of different things, just because we wanted to like build up their audience recognition, like people sort of like, oh, we saw them at that thing and they were really good, like Flavor of the Wicked are back, and then the festival gets announced and they're like, oh, Flavor are like totally back. We need to go see them at this thing. Like just starting to like increase their following again. Like gigging following that is. We couldn't get them for anything, which is kind of okay, I guess, because it means that their first show back is gonna be Future Fest, which is epic. But yeah, I feel like I'm worried that we're maybe doing them an injustice with a half-hour set.
Hmm.
But there's just like, yeah. I mean, we were saying like the last six bands are gonna have like a mega headliner-worthy audience, but I think all of them are. Like, I think
Yeah.
people are gonna show up early. I think Foreign Voices and Finding Mary haven't played next to before. That's the festival lineup. It's very
Yeah.
exciting.
So So thank you very much, Fraser, for talking to me. So if you have enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more of this kind of stuff. I don't know how this video is going to go. It was recorded 2 months in advance. Hopefully future Oliver actually remembers that the video is coming out and edits it in time. And please go to the festival, and thank you very much for watching.